All right, let's get into this week's book review. Yusuf Daniels Living Coloured is a compilation of short stories about life as a child growing up on the Cape Flats. Now, he says it's a tribute to all that the coloured community holds dear. And he joins us live now from Cape Town, from our Cape Town studio. Yusuf, thank you so much for joining me. Very good morning. And first of all, congratulations on the success of your book. I mean, on launch, many of the Cape Town stores were sold out. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, and good morning to you guys. Thanks for having me. But listen here, just before we start, we're Sunday morning coloured person, Tony. I need sisters in my life.
You need sisters?
I don't see sisters around me here. What's the story here?
No, we're health conscious at ENCA. Well, you'll get them on your way out.
Oh, okay, thanks. Then I'm sorted. Thank you.
Right,
I'm all right with that. Thanks.
All right, fantastic. Now, you call yourself an accidental author. Why?
You know how this whole thing played out, Tony. On the 29th of October, I had a groin injury. And, well, there's your accident right there. And I went to an acupuncturist. And he had some needles in the groin area, head area. And I was looking at the walls in this man's room. And I said to myself, Joseph, you are not going to be staring at toilet paper stacked against this man's wall. I took out my phone, went on the notepad, and I started typing. And that was the first story, 29th of October. Mm-hmm. And 10 days later, I had 7 stories. and there was nothing planned.
You posted those stories on what, on Facebook, and it was a good reaction?
Yes, I posted on Facebook immediately. No spell checks, nothing, of course. And people just liked it. And the responses were crazy. And then eventually people said, Yusuf, you need to do a book. You need to do a blog. And I thought, no, I'm just playing it down, whatever. And yeah, then the rest is history.
All right, let's talk about history. Now, this book, you're going back in time, really. When you were growing up, when you were 10 years old, your parents and 4 of your sisters moved from Portland in Mitchell's Plain to Mitchell's Plains. And then, at that point, you were in a 2-roomed house. You were sharing a bedroom with 4 of your sisters. But you paint the story in a lovely way, and you know, even with everything around you, all your stories are happy. It's very positive.
Tony, you know what? It was tough. Listen, don't get me wrong. It was tough living with 4 sisters in one room, sleeping on 3 beds and a double bunk, basically. And then when you get those 7 cousins coming over, and then it's at the feet end, you know. So it was tough with your cousin's foot in your face all the time. You know what I mean? But this is how we grew up. So you know what? We always looked at the positive side of things. And this is what I want to get out there. No matter how hard your situation, as coloured people, we always made the best of it. And you know, we just had fun, you know, type of thing. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's talk about the book now, Living Coloured. You know, you've got, it's basically a compilation of different stories. You're talking about, you know, childhood games that you used to play as well. But you paint very vivid pictures, even, you know, when you look at the time of day and so forth. Give me an example of one of the stories in your book.
You know, Tony, the one story about Ruthie. I lived up in Bridgetown, and our childhood games you just mentioned there, like one of them games were Kenachi that we played. You know, where you hit the little stick and you hit it down the road and you chase the Kenachi and you catch you out. So the one story is about this girl, Ruthie. Ruthie was mentally challenged, and I'm very anti-bullying, so I was a stupid 9-year-old kid, very dumb at the time. And I used to mess with her all the time. And those were like years. And then we played Kenachi the one day, and the whole neighborhood was outside. When we played a sport or anything outside, uncles, aunties, dogs, Mrs. Cox, Vasseval, everybody was outside, right? Mm-hmm. So this day, I was playing and I was fielding right in front of Ruthie's gate. Now, she was never allowed beyond the gate. And now, remember, I'm a Muslim kid, eh? And Ruthie, they hit the Kenachi. I took a dive. I caught the Kenachi, but I dove right into Ruthie's gate, and the gate opened. This was the first time Ruthie ever made contact or had contact with me. So remember, this is years of messing with Ruthie. You know what she did, Tony? All I remember was Ruthie jumping out of that gate, through that gate, landing on my chest. I could only remember Ruthie's yellow panty in my face, right? She was sitting on my chest, and she choked the life out of me, Tony.
Yeah.
And the first thing that came to my mind was, or out of my mouth was, remember, I'm a Muslim kid, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
I mean,
And
yeah,
that was crazy.
That's one of the stories. I mean, but that's a good reflection of most of the stories that you're telling in this book. You talk about the community aspect of it as well, because you speak about these were the days when even your neighbor was allowed to spank you because you were doing something wrong. I mean, those days things were very different from now, weren't they?
I know, absolutely. Tony, I had 7 mothers in a row there. So if you are not on time in your house, they will tell you, hey, get into your house, or they'll sort you out right there. It was simple. And your mother had no issues with that, because it was a community thing. And like I said, these were all your mothers in the street. It was like that.
Okay, so
fantastic back in the day.
Why do you think this book has resonated so well with the people, especially in Cape Town? Because it's really sold well in Cape Town. Why has it worked so well?
You know, Tony, I believe, I hear these stories every day. People tell me, Yusuf, you know what? Oh, my word, someone has told our story. Nobody's ever told the story about colored people and what we've been through. Yeah, I don't want to make it a political thing. Well, it's not a political book. But there is mention of things, the sadness of what we went through as colored people back in the day, in apartheid days. But you know why I think it's selling so well? One of the reasons is, firstly, it's very relatable. Then another reason is kids are beginning to read this book, which is now amazing to me. I didn't see this coming. So a lot of kids are using it for their orals at school or their book reviews at school, which is fantastic. And I'm also busy with community businesses. I've used this platform and I've uplifted community businesses. I market them hectically on Facebook. I really market them well on Facebook. And the public has come out in support of these people. So I've done about 90 community posts, business posts. And the community's come together, and basically I think they're just supporting me back right now. So
yeah, fantastic.
That's doing really well. Yeah.
Okay, what next after Living Coloured? Because black and white were already taken. That's the little subtitle there of the book. What next after this?
Tony, I'm in chats with someone wanting to do a stage play right now. I'm in chats with some people looking at maybe a movie or a series right now. And yeah, I like the business stuff. I want to also, from this week coming onwards, I'm going to be moving into schools on the Cape Flats and just spread my story and the positiveness, you know, and there's always a way out type of thing, yeah. So I'm going to go see the schools. I think this is where we need to start.
Yusuf, I like what you also say. You're saying, listen, you know what, that whole accidental author thing, you're saying I didn't study how to write. I just, you know, like you were saying, I was sitting in the surgery and just decided to write. Nobody taught you how to do it, but it just shows you can actually do it if you really want to do it and write in your own way.
No, Tony, absolutely. If someone in the world has done something, it is possible. It's humanly possible. So what I say is just be yourself. Tony, people, I've discovered writers now. I speak to a lot of writers now. They're all contacting me. Meanwhile, I'm still struggling to spell author. I get sore when I say author here on my left jaw side. And what I say to these people, just write how you feel. Don't change who you are. Just write. This is how it comes through the book or how people read. And people like that, you know. People really enjoy it, it seems.
Fantastic stuff. Thank you so much for talking with us. It's the book is called Living Coloured, because black and white were already taken. Yusuf Daniels, first-time author. He just put pen to paper and he just did it. Thank you so much for speaking with us.